Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your January 2023 tarot card and astrology readings. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you all so much for being here. For those of you who are new, my name is Jane. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you for joining with me on this wonderful new journey this year. So as always, these monthly readings are separated into two segments. So the first segment is the tarot card reading, which is much more intuitive. And the second portion is the astrology section. Now, please feel free to watch these for your sun, moon, or rising sign. However, I do recommend your rising sign for the astrology portion, just so you can get a more accurate viewpoint on what your transits are actually going to be. And don't forget that if you are a member on my website, janeinternational.com, that you'll be able to log on and access the comprehensive readings as always. And if you're not a member and would like to join, you are more than welcome to do that as well. Or you're also free to just do a one-time single purchase of the comprehensive reading, just like we've always done. So let's go ahead and get into these readings for the month. Thank you again. Happy New Year, and I'll see you in just a sec. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your January 2023 tarot card reading. So let's go ahead and get started with a card from my intuitive deck here just to open up the channel. So Cancer, what is it you need to know for January 2023? All right, you've got tons of options in front of you, and it may feel a little overwhelming. And when I say options, it doesn't mean that all of you are like trying to quit your job and start a business or anything like that. It just means like when you're thinking about your future, you're thinking about what you want, and you're thinking about how to get there, there's just a lot of ways to go about doing it. I will tell you that there are going to be certain paths that may seem a little slower, and yet those are probably going to be the paths of least resistance. I don't think for Cancer, this is going to be a case of like, hurry up and get there. This is a case of make it easy on yourself. Make it easy on yourself, make it easy on your families, and make it easy on your finances and your bank account. You don't have to like push everything aside for the sake of these goals, all right? This is a case of slow integration. Now, integration has been a theme for a really long time, really since like Virgo and Libra seasons. We're over here, we're in Capricorn season now, so it's been a while, okay? And that's what integration does take time. Integrating new ideas, integrating new people, all sorts of stuff, right? Our lives are changing, our lives are evolving, and it does take time to adjust. But I do suggest taking the slower path, even if it sucks that it's slower. I think we would trade ease, or we would prefer ease over fast any day of the week, okay? See exactly, Wheel of Fortune. The universe is wanting this expansion from you 100%, and it's supporting you. And I think if you were to go the faster route and you were to go super hard at it and really push, I'm not saying you couldn't succeed. You can still do that. And some people may prefer that. Maybe they enjoy that kind of strife. Either way, you are expanding financially, romantically, your heart is opening, you're inviting new things in, you're open to completely new ways of thought and new ways of living. And because of this opening or this blossoming, there are going to be massive opportunities presented to you. Now, Jupiter is in your 10th house this month, which is fantastic. I love a Jupiter in the 10th. There could be significant career opportunities for you. Or even just new ways to contribute to the world, new ways to contribute, new ways to give back. And I honestly think it's going to work out really, really well. Don't be afraid to try things. Don't be afraid to experiment. I know that having Mars in the 12th house in a retrograde, going retrograde, I don't know if it was hard for you. I mean, maybe it was challenging. I think the Saturn in the 8th house was probably more challenging, where Mars in the 8th I'm sitting at 8 degrees. Mars in the 12th was a little bit more like, I'm freaking ready to let this go, right? Because Mars is always ready, ready, ready. And when he's ready to surrender and ready to let go and ready to lose, for for the sake of gain. When he's ready, he's ready. That's it. And I think that's what Cancer has been really hitting up against, is this readiness to get some freaking thing out of the way so that another thing can come in and fill in that void. And it's something that's a little bit more wanted and something that's a little bit more in line with your ultimate life's self-concept. So what's in your environment here, Cancer? Well, we got a beautiful Queen of Cups. She's been coming out quite a bit, actually. Now, in this particular context, this month she's giving me kind of a weird vibe, okay? Because I'm going to lay all the cards here, as you guys know. She's got her back to everything, okay? So she's looking over here. And it's like she's here, but not really here. She's present, but not involved. And you may just have some kind of a satellite energy in your life, someone who is in your life, who's around, but they may not be a huge part of what you have going on. Honestly, Cancer, I genuinely believe you have to do some big things for yourself, regardless of whether or not someone is like okay with it. And I'm not saying this person's not okay with it. They're okay with it. They're just not a part of it. It's like let's say you're contemplating quitting your job and starting a business. Well, your spouse might be a little concerned about the finances, maybe. So you talk about the finances, but ultimately it is your life. It affects them, but it's your life. Okay, you see kind of how that works? That seems to be where you're at. And I feel good things. And even though this person may not really be involved, they still love you. They still support you. They still cheer you on. They're still really, really, really happy for you. And they're willing to support you in any way that they need to in the time being while these transitions occur for you. And that's it, you know? That's great. I mean, it's a really great place to be. All right, let's take a look here at the 9-card block. Queen of Swords reversed. Hierophant. And we have the 8 of Swords reversed. Okay, so the Queen of Swords reversed feels a little indecisive to me, but I don't see it blocking you. I don't see it being, hold on. Excuse me. I don't see it blocking you, and I don't see it preventing you from making decisions. It's just there may be a little bit of doubt along the way. All right? You're feeling as though, right, you've got these options, you're taking a path, and while you're on that path, you may consistently be asking yourself, well, is this right? Am I doing it right? Is this the right way? Is this really going to work out? You know, and there's all that kind of stuff going on. I'm almost seeing like, it's like almost a buyer's remorse. Like, you know, when you buy something and you're like, oh man, I shouldn't have bought that thing. You know, it's like almost that, but there's no remorse. It's like, you're doing it, but you're still like, oh, I don't know. But then you still keep doing it anyway. Kind of what the Queen of Swords is giving me. Right? So if that's you, it's okay. As long as you're still doing it, as long as you're still progressing. And I see that with the Hierophant. We know that there's a Taurian quality that comes through here. And there's this element of perseverance and persistence. And we just sort of have a structure in our life and we just continue to go forward, and that's it. And actually having structure in your life, being Capricorn season right now, and with Saturn in your 8th house, I do feel that Cancer has been evolving the structures in their life, where if you didn't operate, let's use a very generic example, okay? Like if you weren't ever operating with a significant schedule in your life and you were just kind of whimsically going about your day, now maybe you're integrating more of a schedule, right? You've got checklist items or something, okay? Just again, silly example, probably won't apply to you, but just to visualize for visualization purposes. So you're integrating new types of structures that are leverageable. And it's actually because of these structures that you are able to kind of be on this ride. And the Wheel of Fortune is definitely a ride. Now, again, the Wheel of Fortune does not move fast. He's not a tower. This is not a tower card. There's not a lot of, it's not like all of a sudden you win the lottery and your whole life is different. This is, again, slow integration. One thing after the next, after the next, after the next. And as you integrate one thing, you have to familiarize yourself with that first. And then you move to the next one and you familiarize yourself with that. And then you kind of go from there. But you're attaining new degrees of clarity with this. It's like every step forward you take, even though you're a little bit skeptical of it, every step forward you take, you realize that it works, you realize that it's going to go well, you realize that it is taking you to where you want to be, and these swords start falling out. The steps forward right now are so important. And I've been saying this for the past couple of months, really since the beginning of Sagittarius season. I really said that action is the way we are healing right now. By taking action, this is how we are getting out of circumstances that we're discontent with, right? Or dissatisfied with. We have to take the steps. And every step you take, Cancer, one of these swords comes out. And you achieve greater degrees of freedom and greater degrees of clarity. Every time a sword comes out, there could be something good that happens. You make a little bit more money. You meet a high quality person. You're put in the right room. You receive the right phone calls, right? Because you may not realize, but these swords take up space in your life. They take up space. And so when you clean out a space, you have a void, and the universe hates void. It hates emptiness, and so it has to fill it in with something. And because you are aligning, it's going to give you things that are aligned. And with the Hierophant, you're definitely aligned. Hierophant is kind of like that gatekeeper, that gatekeeper between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. And he's the deliverer of knowledge. He's the deliverer of the keys, right? We've got those two keys there. He's the deliverer of the keys of like your soul purpose, the keys of what spirit wants and needs from you and all of that. He's our inner guardian in a lot of ways. And I do feel Cancer is like really tightening up with themselves on a spiritual level, and that spiritual alignment is manifesting as worldly and materialistic alignment. Okay, I saw these two, so we'll take these two. So we have the Knight of Coins reversed. We have the Eight of Coins. We have what else for Cancer for January? Kind of feel like this card wants to come out. Ace of Cups. Beautiful. See, this is what I mean. This is what's getting filled in. Every time you pull out a sword, you get an Ace of Cups. An Ace of Cups is something that makes you happy. An Ace of Cups is something that validates that you made the right decision. Like you're trying to start a business, or maybe you have a business, okay? And all of a sudden you're like, all right, I need to raise my prices, but I'm really, really, really scared, right? Eight of Swords. I'm really scared to raise my prices, but I'm going to do it anyway. Wheel of Fortune. So you pull out that sword, you raise your prices, and then people pay you. And you're like, oh, it really was all that simple. That's all it was. You want to quit your job? All right, well, you start sending out your resumes. Right? Like you get an interview. It really is just that simple. You just do it. Ace of Cups is a promise that it's all going to work out okay. And that this Queen of Swords, like fluctuating, oh, I don't know, this is a waste of energy. And hopefully there's not an external person like that. The reason why I think it's you is because this is a Libra card, and Libra rules your fourth house. And the fourth house, there's a healing component there. And maybe the reason for this doubt is because you're healing something, and you're out of your element a little bit. It is uncomfortable. Sometimes it's weird how alignment can feel so uncomfortable. It can feel like we're out of control when in fact we've never been more in control. So the Queen of Swords is just trying to gain her bearings. All right. Now, there may be a little bit of, now I like the structure of the Hierophant, but the Knight of Coins reverse does kind of make me feel a little bit scattered, but it's a brief scattered, because right after it, we have the Eight of Coins. So it's like the big question, well, what do I do? How do I do this? I do think that you may be escalating questions in your mind, like you're making them bigger than they actually are. You're escalating the importance of things or over dramatizing the importance of things. The Eight of Coins is like, just do it. Like, and if it doesn't work out, then you can stop doing it, but just do it, because you're never going to know if you just sit and think about it all the time. Sometimes this can certainly have an analysis paralysis. Sometimes that can be a Knight of Coins. Just, I have too many decisions to make. I have to overthink it. I want it to be perfect. And so I'm going to close up. I'm going to tighten up. It's interesting because you've also got, this is a Virgo card. Virgo is in the 3rd house, which does have a lot to do with the way you think. You got Mercury over in the 7th doing a retrograde over there. So, it's almost as though like relying on your brain right now is not the best, because your brain is going to spin you into like all sorts of weird corners, and it's just not going to be helpful. You have to learn how to corral your thought and your energy into the actual doing of stuff. Like if you find yourself in the middle of the day being, like, okay, well, I should be doing this, right? But instead I'm sitting on the couch spiraling and I'm overanalyzing and I'm collecting all types of information, not helpful. You don't need more information, Cancer. I'm just telling you that right now. You have all the information you need to do whatever it is you need to do. You don't have to learn more. You don't have to hear one more perspective. You don't need to have one more aha moment. You're going to have plenty of learning experiences by getting your hands dirty. You got to get in the trenches here. Okay, you have to. You got to go make the mistakes. And maybe that's one thing that's going on here. The Libra energy and the Virgo energy reversed. There may be an element of perfectionism. I don't want to do it unless it's perfect. I don't want to do it unless it's going to perform. I don't want to do it unless it's going to work. It's not how the Wheel of Fortune works. It's not going to punish you if you make a mistake or if something doesn't work out idealistically, right? That's a part of the expanded consciousness of the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Let's pull out the last 3 cards. I think Capricorn season is giving all of us, but you especially, because it's the opposing sign, a lot of tough love, the way Capricorn does. It gives us a lot of tough love. And it's like, get out of your own way, and we're all getting kind of punched in the face right now with some degree of truth. Wow, okay. All court cards, all reversed in this row. That's actually really interesting. 8 of Wands. Now, I know the Queen of Cups is the Cancer card, but for some reason, because it's in the environmental position as well, I don't think it's you. I do think it's someone else. These 2 things, it's you. This is someone else. Unless something is being mirrored back. Now, the Queen of Cups revert, like I said, this Queen of Cups cannot help you. They love you, they support you, they'll listen to you, they'll give you a big fat hug at the end of the day, but they don't really understand what's going on with this Wheel of Fortune. And I think they are putting a lot of faith and trust in you. Now, this could be a child as well. All right. This could be a spouse. It could be a best friend. It could be a colleague or a coworker, or it could be, a business partner for some of you as well. But I do think you're on your own mission here. And I think the Queen of Cups, has doubts as well. And be careful, because the more doubt you made known to the world or make known to the world, the more doubt and fear you put out there, other people are going to pick up. And I feel almost a dependent quality with that Queen of Cups. This is someone who depends on you. So we don't want to instill fear in them, because as a Queen of Cups, emotional security is really, really important, especially if this is a child. And I don't normally see childlike energy with a queen or a king. That's not normally how it goes. But for some reason, I'm really, really picking up on that. So if you do have kids, this is probably your kids. If you don't have kids, it'll be someone else, all right? But there's no need to traumatize your children. Now, I'm not trying to tell you to like be dishonest or to fake it or anything like that. Like if they ask questions, by all means. But I think your evenness and your ability not to hide stuff, but to deal with stuff, right? And that example of dealing with stuff is actually going to be one of the best things that the Queen of Cups could ever see from you. Look, 8 of Wands. Look, I'm telling you, even though I'm talking about the slower path, but it will be the path of least resistance. Like, because this is why, like, if you were to go down the fast path, or the path that is most likely to get you there sooner, all of this stuff, all of the fear and all of the doubts and all of the insecurities and all the perfection, it's going to be amplified. So your journey is going to be like a roller coaster rather than a gentle sojourn through the park. You know? And the slower path is going to make it easier to deal with stuff when it arises, because you actually can deal with it. You don't have to like put it off because, oh, I got to hurry up and finish this thing. You're not suppressing anything. I think if you were to go down the faster route, you would be unhappy when you got to the destination. It wouldn't be a fulfilling experience. Taking your time with this will be fulfilling. But it's only going to be slower in the beginning before it starts to accelerate. Because I see the acceleration happening here. And as soon as that acceleration starts to happen, I do think that old life is going to crumble. That old way of doing things is going to crumble. But it's going to crumble in a way that's not going to affect someone else negatively, because they will already see what's blossoming from it. So it's like if you were to quit your job to start a business, but maybe you don't do it all at once. Maybe you start your new business as like a side hustle until it makes enough money so it can be self-sustaining, so you can quit your job. So then this person doesn't see this massive shift going on where all of a sudden you have money and then boom, all of a sudden you don't. It's not some dramatic drop off. It's a nice transition that is manageable and makes everyone, including yourself, feel really safe. But the old thing is crumbling and dying off. Saturn in the 8th. Mars in the 12th. There's a lot of die out for Cancer right now. 2023 is absolutely Pluto coming into Aquarius. It's so exciting. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of global stuff going on. But for us as individuals, it's very, very exciting. It's a whole new us. Every single person is going through this revival, but some people are harnessing it well, where others are going to go down some kind of self-destructive path. I don't think that's anyone here watching this reading. Okay? All right. Cancer. Let's pull out the comprehensive cards. So for those of you who are new to my channel, I'm about to pull out a bunch of clarifiers. Okay, and these cards are what we're going to talk about in the comprehensive reading, and that is going to be, all the info is going to be found in the description box in the comment thread down below. We'll talk another 25-30 minutes about all these cards, so it's kind of like a totally separate reading. And there are different ways to go about accessing it. I have like a non-subscription, just a one-time purchase type of deal, and I have a subscription type of deal if you want to get it every single month automatically. So just make sure you read and make sure you select the right option that works best for you. Okay? All right. Cancer, what else do you need to know for January? Cancer, January readings, January 2023. We have, oh, the Lovers. Beautiful. Try not to mess up the cards here. Okay. We have, oh, another Hierophant. I like the Hierophant. And we have the Four of Swords. Ooh, Page of Cups. Well, right next to the Ace of Cups. I love to see it. We have, ooh, beautiful. You guys are like, I'm so excited for what's about to happen for Cancer. Honestly, like my energy levels are increasing by doing this reading, which is rare. Okay. Like there's a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of excitement, a lot of optimism about what's coming down the line for you. Okay, there's no doubt about it. Okay, we got the Three of Cups reversed. So for the Queen of Swords reversed, what else do we need to know? We have the High Priestess. We have the Five of Cups. The Knight of Coins. Upright this time. Two of Coins reversed and the Page of Swords. Judgment. Seven of Wands. And the Sun. Beautiful. I feel like the storm is over. I don't know what that means. Oh, another Wheel of Fortune. Four of Swords reversed. Okay. Well, I don't normally like to pull out 4 cards, but that's okay. We got Temperance and the World reversed. You know, I'm really drawn to this right now, the storm clouds that are up here, because it's like, it's 10 a.m. where I am, and it is pitch dark outside. Like the cloud cover here in Mississippi is insane. Insane. Like my security lights are still on. It's so dark. Okay. All right. 8 of Coins. Two of Wands. 10 of Cups. Beautiful. And Death reversed. Queen of Coins for that Ace of Cups. Another 8 of Swords and a 10 of Swords. 4 of Coins reversed. 10 of Wands. And the Hierophant. 6 of Cups. A lot of Hierophant energy coming out. He's officially the most common card. We got the Sun a couple times. We got the Wheel of Fortune, but Hierophant came out 3 times. We have the Emperor. Love the Emperor for Cancer. 4 of Cups reversed. Last but not least, we have the Fool. We have the 8 of Cups. And we have, ooh, the Magician. Love to see that as well. Okay, so this is where we're going to pick up in the comprehensive. So again, all the options down below. Thank you all so much. You guys know I absolutely love and adore you. Have an amazing January. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your January 2023 astrology report. So let's go ahead and take a look here at some of the major transits that you're going to be experiencing this month. So first and foremost, we have 3 planets stationing and moving direct. Okay, we have Mars stationing direct on the 12th. Now, this is going to be, I think, a nice turnaround. I think the whole of January is just kind of like a really big turnaround kind of month where we have the energy, we have the focus, we have the wherewithal to take any circumstance in our life, whatever that may be, and really like, okay, it's time to get on board. It's time to move it along. It's time to get this done. It's time to make this change. And January is the month where I think we are really, really supported to do that. So if there is an area that you're frustrated with, if it's a relationship, you've got Saturn in the 8th house here. So if there's something going on relationship-wise, or something financially, or something with your business, or something that you're dealing with a client, okay? This is probably going to be a month where you stand up. Now, a Mercury retrograde can be a little bit iffy in the communication department, especially being in Saturn-ruled Capricorn, okay? There is a lot of like resistance there in terms of communication. However, when we do communicate, when we do sit down and have those conversations, chances are we're going to be highly selective of the things that we say, but in a good way, right? Because we're not just here trying to just say anything, blah, right? Mercury in Capricorn is really controlled, and it's filtered very well, and it's truthful and honest. And so if there is something that needs to be turned around and it involves other people, it's time for you to say those words, okay? It's time for you to put it out there, to make it known what it is that you want, to lay it all out on the table, however you want to say it. It's time. And I don't know that there are going to be a lot of mistakes in how you communicate. Now, it may not be received in the best possible way with a Mercury retrograde in the 7th, but I do see with the Sun in the 7th as well that the other person you're dealing with is likely going to have some sense of honor, and they're going to have some sense of dignity. So it's not like they're going to fall to pieces, okay? They're going to probably listen well. They may need to take some time to process, but they're going to listen. They're going to hear what you're saying. And it is possible with the turnaround qualities that's in the sky right now that they may turn something around. Something that is needing to change may more easily change right now. And that can be great, especially if you're kind of going head to head with someone and you're kind of hitting a brick wall. This is a time of flexibility. This is a time of new initiations. We love Capricorn season for that. Cardinal seasons are fantastic for really launching new things and wiping the slate clean and all of that. So if that's something you're dealing with, it could really be great, And with Mars going direct, I know that Mars, whenever he's in the 12th house, it can be a little tricky to access that Martian energy, It can be you can maybe have a more tired nature. You're wanting to stay in a little bit more. It's very creative though. So I'm not saying your creativity is going to sleep by any stretch of the imagination. There is a lot of creativity. And there's also a lot of sexuality that comes through here as well. But generally speaking, it is very private. It is very internal, more imaginative. It's more out of this world type of stuff. Now, as Mars starts to station, or as he stations direct on the 12th and starts to go direct, as he makes his way closer and closer to Cancer over the next couple of months, I think Cancer is going to tell that they're being prepared for something that will probably take place in Aries season when the Sun comes into your 10th house. Because in Aries season, you'll have Sun in the 10th, you'll have Mars in the 1st, and so this is a time of leadership for Cancer. So whatever it is you're working on now, whatever it is that's being resolved right now, right? Especially if you have, with Venus coming into the 8th house, if there's anything financial, if there are any debts, or if there are any relationships that are kind of burying you under, if you're being buried under by debt, or there's some relationship that you have that feels really overbearing, with Uranus going direct and Mars going direct, this is probably a time when you can put your foot down and be okay, enough. I'm tired of this. I don't want this anymore. I'm not happy here. I'm not happy with this. I don't like this. I need to get rid of it. And I think Mars in the 12th, there's a sacrifice component a little bit. Cancer may need to make a bigger sacrifice in order to get out of something. Okay, so if you need to hurry up and take a bunch of cash to pay off a credit card just to get out from under the debt, then by all means do that, just so long as it doesn't put you in dire straits, in a desperate situation, you can't feed yourself or something, okay? But those kind of upfront sacrifices for the sake of feeling free, probably a really good thing for you. The freedom component, again, is preparatory for what's going to be happening for you in Aries season. For some reason, I feel Aries season, you've got the spotlight, Cancer. So as we build up to that, the universe is very carefully preparing you for taking that position. So it is, you have to think about your future. Do I want to have this thing hanging over my head 3 months from now? Probably not. So take care of it now. Okay, right now there's a lot of duty. We got to turn this situation around, turn this ship around. Okay, that's got to be the motto for January. Okay, we have Uranus going direct on the 22nd. Okay, so this is the last planet to start moving direct. Okay, Mercury goes direct on the 18th, Mars on the 12th, and then the 22nd is Uranus. Now, I know that Cancer with this Uranus North Node conjunction, right? Because this has been conjunct, Uranus North Node conjunction has been going on really since like the very, very beginning of April, or of August, I'm sorry. Late July, early August, Uranus North Node came together and Uranus started retrograding with the North Node. So they've been together for a very long time. And I've been calling this conjunction like a portal or a chunk of time wherein we have a greater desire to revolutionize our life in some way. For many people, it has been financial because it's Taurus after all. And that may even be stronger for you because it is the 11th house. A lot of money comes through the 11th house. I know 11th house is like friends and groups and affiliations and all of that. And yes, that's true. But also through groups and affiliations, we can leverage those into greater financial opportunities. If you are a trader, for example, like on the stock market, you may associate with other traders or other knowledgeable people about the markets, and that can, of course, be leveraged for greater financial reward. All right, a lot of gain, financial gain comes through here. So I know Cancer has been thinking a lot about their money situation. You may be making revisions in your friend groups. You may be making changes in your industry. If you change industries, it's also very likely that your professional network is going to evolve as well. But these changes were necessary. They were absolutely necessary for the sake of where it is you're going, right? The North Node in modern astrology, modern Western astrology, we often associate the North Node with a destiny. Okay, now, to a point, I agree with that, although I don't think the North Node is like some magical, mystical, destined, fated point. It just creates a lot of desire and it creates a lot of focus, but it can also makes it a little out of reach as well. So when there's focus and it's out of reach, we tend to continue grasping, right? Because we just want to get closer and closer and closer. But if we can't grab onto it very easily, it's not going to keep us hooked, all right? The North Node definitely hooks us in a lot of ways. And so wherever the North is, wherever it is transiting, there is this pulling. And so we have been pulled in this 11th house direction, financial gain and a new association and new affiliations, whatever those may be. And they will be beneficial for you as this portal closes or begins to close really on the 22nd when Uranus officially starts going direct, meaning North Node and Uranus are going to start separating, okay? But sometimes it's hard to do that. And wherever Taurus is in our chart, there is a little bit of rigidity there. There's a little bit of comfort. Maybe it's not so much rigidity as it is comfort, right? There's a lot of comfort there. And so moving out of our comfort zone can be a little bit hard. So we've all been stretched a little bit. For you, 11th house, I love 11th house activity. It's one of my favorite houses. I would say 11th, 9th, and 5th houses. First house a little bit as well. Those are like some of the best houses. And to have a transit like this going on is very fortunate. And while you may not have realized the impact while this was happening, once it ends and once this North Node moves into Aries, your 10th house in July, or this summer, you will start to really understand the impact of like 2022, okay? So there's that, okay? We also have Jupiter now coming into Aries as well, which is going to even make Aries season that much more exciting for you as the sun comes through. Jupiter in the 10th house. Now, Jupiter has already been here in 2022, right? It came in and then it started slowing down and then it retrograded back into Pisces. So because it was kind of slowing down already as it was coming into Aries, I don't know that we necessarily saw the full effect of that, but he's speeding up now. Jupiter is now officially kind of full on in his Aries transit. And I think you are going to start to see the benefits of your 10th house Jupiter. So yes, Cancer, you might be seeing not only in January, really beginning January, but January, February, March, and April, you are going to see an expansion in your career area. If you are in a business or in a profession where your reputation is really important, like if you're a business owner or if you're a freelancer or something like that, this is highly advantageous for you. And I would I would truly hope, and Jupiter is important for you because Jupiter is the planet that is exalted in Cancer. So I would really hope that you would take advantage of this time and just go as big as you can without fear. Okay. I know it's Capricorn season and we have the, Saturnine kind of structure and whatever. Jupiter doesn't care about any of that. He doesn't care, right? This is not about the rules. This is not about the law. This is not about the way it should be done. This is not about being appropriate, all right? Jupiter in Aries is just like, this is me. Bleh. Put it out there. This is me in my entirety, in my wholeness, in all my skill and all my talent. This is me. And I would hope that you could capitalize on that in some way, shape, or form and unapologetically move forward with your plans. Last thing I want to talk about is the full moon happening in Cancer on January 6th. Now, I love this moon. Not only is it in rulership, but this is the first full moon that has not been conjunct an important planet, okay? July, right? In Cancer season of 2022, we had the big full moon conjunct Pluto. And I told you this was a point of no return for everybody. Like our lives were officially changing and we were never going to be able to go back to how it used to be, plain and simple. And every moon cycle since then, conjunct Saturn, conjunct Neptune, conjunct Chiron, conjunct Uranus with the eclipse, and then conjunct Mars. And now the moon is like free and clear in all her glory coming into your first house. How beautiful is this? And I feel that this is the moment. I honestly think, like, I don't do moon ceremonies all that often. This is probably going to be a moon that I personally will, because this is like where everything sheds. It's just like release it all, everything from the past 6 months. And I know you guys have been working hard and I know you've been strategizing. This Mars in Gemini, he's been doing a lot for us, and it's been a lot. It's been a little chaotic and it's been all over the place and there's been a lot of organization and a lot of things. But this full moon, I think, is that opportunity for us to say, okay, I'm going to release the things that don't work so that I can focus on the few things that really do, so that I can truly and fully succeed in the new year. It's a beautiful moon. I'm very excited about it. It's not really an aspect with anything huge, with the exception that it's in a beautiful sextile, which we know is a positive aspect with Uranus. So it's positively linked with Uranus, which gives that freedom, revolution, pushing the boundaries component with the safety and security of the Cancerian domicile. Okay, so there's a lot of safety, there's a lot of warmth, and there's a lot of support with the changes that you need to make. I really hope, Cancer, you especially with Jupiter in the 10th, I really, really, really hope that you do not feel like these things aren't going to work. I really hope that you don't feel failure is imminent, okay? Please don't take that take. It's not going to help you. And if you do have that pessimism, you're basically throwing away this Jupiter and Aries transit. All right, Jupiter and Aries is great. Look, Jupiter is strong. +6. This is the first, we're starting to see Saturn come down off of this scale, okay? Saturn has been at the top, in top premier strength for years now, because he's been in rulership since 2018. Saturn has been in rulership, but we're starting to see the shift now. Saturn, I know he's still in rulership, don't get me wrong. He doesn't officially leave until the beginning of March, but we are starting to see him fall in the ranks just a little bit. And look, Jupiter is now stronger. So we need to lean more on Jupiter. Saturn had its place. We learned our lessons over the last 4 years, but now it's time to live in the wisdom that we've acquired through those lessons. Okay? All right, Cancer, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much. You guys know I love you. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon.